we'll just have to see how things go as we go forward. Look for the challenge of playing the Raiders. Good football team. Antonio does a nice job with that group, as do his coordinators, Patrick, Luke, and then Tom, who you guys know. And they've got Marv Lewis on that staff too, who he and I go way back a lot of years, so knowing each other. But all good football coaches, and they've got good players. So we got to make sure we have a good week of practice, and we'll get that going today. So that time's yours.
Coach, I know nothing's official about DeAndre Hopkins. The league tweeted out he's joining your team. Maybe not specifically about him being on your team, but you've competed against him many times over the years. What kind of player has he been to compete against?
Yeah, Veach is dealing with all that, so I'm hush on that. Yeah.
With Juju, did he just maybe push it too hard to try to get back and play? I know he wanted to play. Probably be a little more cautious with him now, or?
Yeah, we'll be cautious with him. Yeah, well, we thought we were being cautious the last time, so with him, but this time it's a little bit worse. So, yeah.
Just around the league, there's been a lot of injuries with a lot of wide receivers. Do you have any kind of pulse on just why it's been?
Yeah, I mean, these things are kind of secular. They happen like that. But I don't have an answer for you now. Yeah.
Andy, Hopkins is not here, and he will not be practicing today. Is that right?
I know nothing.
Okay. Andy, last time you guys played the Raiders, obviously was the last time you lost. It's probably hard to summarize, but what was it that you pushed off from after that game that sort of reset your team late last year?
Yeah, they came in and got after us, and that's their personality, and so we didn't handle that the right way. But I thought we learned from it and got better for it, which was the important thing after something like that.
It helped you know what your own strengths and weaknesses were a little more, and how to contour to that. Is that fair to say?
No, I don't think necessarily. I just think we could have been a little bit more ready, which is my responsibility, and that part didn't take place.
Coach, Kareem Hunt and you guys called runs between the tackles a record time since 16. How tough is somewhat of an identity shift on the fly when circumstances call for some of these guys?
Yeah, well, I mean, in his case, I mean, it was important. I mean, for himself, to come in and do well, and he had stayed in shape, which I think was important, and he's been able to contribute and help us keep moving forward, and I think everybody appreciates that part, but I think most of all, he was on a mission to get that, make it right, and so my hat goes off to the kid for that.
Andy, with the players you have on board, we're about to talk to Nicole and Jaden on both sides of the ball. Just what are you seeing at the confidence level on the receivers that you presently have on the roster, and then obviously the defensive matchup?
Yeah, sure. I like the receivers we have. I've mentioned that before. We've got guys that can step in and play, and everybody has confidence in them. So, that we're fortunate that way. I think Veach has done a good job with all that, and giving everybody, all the coaches an opportunity to be successful because of that. And these guys, opportunities, when they arise, they've got to take advantage of them, and that's what they do. And people believe in them.
Andy, back to Kareem Hunt for a second. How have you seen him make a difference in the running game? Are there specific ways you've seen him come in and give you guys a lift that way?
Yeah, well, I mean, we had Pop before that, and then the guys that stepped in for Pop did a nice job. So, and rotated with him. And so we've, he's just a different style. They're all of them are actually different, and but he's got that pounded in at you style, and it's helped us, that way. So you lose a great player like we did with Pacheco, and these other guys step up, and Kareem come off the street and help us out. That's great, and we still have Hilaire sitting back there, who's a great player too. So it's a good position to be in, is it, from a coach's standpoint.
AD, with the player of Max Crosby's caliber, what do you kind of have to be mindful of whatever your call plays there?
Yeah, I mean everything. He's a great player. He's one of the best in the business of what he does, and he's going to give you an honest down every down. So he doesn't take plays off, and our guys know that and respect the heck out of him. So you got to be ready to play 4 quarters against him.
Todd?
Coach, you guys, maybe in June, you thought your roster was going to be less before the injuries. You probably had a whole big scheme planned for the season, and as Pete mentioned, on the fly, you've had to kind of change a lot of things. I know you love drawing up plays, and you work tirelessly. Has this been a different kind of year to do that? And who have maybe you leaned on the staff to kind of work through all of that stuff?
No, all the coaches do a great job. We really haven't had to change it much. I mean, the guys have stepped in and done a nice job. So we've been able to ride that part of it. But I'm fortunate to have coaches that are great teachers and motivators. The guys like to play for them. And so it's, and they want to do well. The players want to do well, the coaches want to do well. So I'm fortunate that way.
Andy, with Hollywood Brown, I mean, when he first got injured and had the re-injury, I know that the timeline was pretty lengthy. I just wondered in the past few weeks, have you had any more finite timeline about the possibility that he's back for you this year?
Yeah, he's doing great. That I can tell you. He's doing great. Seems to be on schedule or a little bit ahead of schedule. So I can't tell you that. I mean, I don't know that. It's going to be a while though. So, but he's a relentless worker. I can tell you that much, and I can tell you he's doing very well for what he's got there. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Yep. Okay. Good.
Thank you.